passionate about making sure the student-athlete experience for everyone here is something that they're proud of, and they're not only becoming better athletes on the court, but better people.
I want to go out there to, obviously, SGA and student life on campus, but also I want to go to M Club, I want to go to Urban Club, and I want to go to big donors to kind of help us out, because I don't feel like they don't even know about us. When I go to people, they're like, all right, like, I've heard of it, but I don't really know who it is.
I would say that we could make it so our teammates knew more about it instead of just kind of having two of my teammates come to this meeting once a month. I feel like it'd be cool to integrate SAC more with the rest of the student-athlete population.
Yeah, I would say collaboration and integration, and also communication, not just between us student-athletes and our teammates, but also with the general student body. I think that's something as SAC we're always trying to improve on, and getting people involved as much as possible, making this organization as public as possible, to ensure that everybody is, or I don't know, that there's more like collaboration between like the regular student body and then the athletes, and instead of it being so segregated.
I feel like our exec board does a really good job at doing that, going to the Big Ten main meetings that Amy, our future president, and Brad Craddock, the kicker on the football team, they were just at the Big Ten huge meeting with all the other schools. I feel like they bring back a lot of really good information, and the exec board I think does a really good job.
Yeah, I think we have good turnaround time from what they gain at the conference and how they distribute to the other student athletes, and then also what they do. Like, they're going to be doing a survey for things and see if we need to make changes so that help us be more aware. And I know that the administration of SAC also does a great job bringing in guest speakers and also contributing to help us have more outside sources available, even more than we realized at the time.
Yeah, I think we have great people representing us. They do a great job in making sure that the student athletes are happy and healthy and have plenty of opportunities open for them. And yeah, I think they do a great job.
I personally live with a member of the current exec board, so I know personally how much time they put in on top of what SAC in general does. So we have a meeting once a month. I know they have at least 2 meetings a month on top of our meetings, so that they are kept up to date and they're able to help us be more informed and more aware. So when our meeting comes, they can be able to basically preach it to us.
Yeah, I think they do a great job also, like, making it so that it's not so much of a hierarchy. They try and include everyone as much as possible. They put in a lot of work, but then they also make sure that everyone has a say and has a voice, and make sure that they're not the only ones coming up with the decisions. That they create a base, and then we as student athletes, as a general SAC, can build on them and collaborate ideas, and I think they do a great job, and they definitely show a great leadership role in that way.
I feel like meetings like this, having it so open and having it in a discussion form, really helps us, allows us to broadcast our own ideas. If we agree or don't agree with something that the exec board brings up with us, I feel like it's nice to be able to have a voice and not feel like you're being judged if you want to voice your own opinion. I feel like it's really nice to just be able to say what you think, and if you agree, you hear from other people, and if you don't agree, then you can also voice that opinion as well. So.
I think we are definitely have enough time to voice our opinions, but it not dragging on really long and not being boring. We are short and sweet to the point, but yeah, we still get a lot done in the allocated time that they give us.
Yeah, in the beginning of the semester, there was talk of adding more than 1 meeting a month for SAC, and we decided to go against that for this semester at least, to try it out. But I feel like we said in the last question, that there's a very open discussion, so they do a great job with structuring times to what to talk about. We almost always go over the time because there is so much discussion. but it's all positive. It's all to help us get a better program.
I feel like as of right now, the exec board, pretty much like we said earlier, is pretty much an open discussion. If somebody disagrees with something, they're going to say it and they're going to say why, and I feel like we either vote on it or it's pretty much an even distribution whether or not we agree with it or not. So I feel like the decisions we make are pretty much majority, if anything, and I feel like that's the best way you can make a decision with anything. So.
Well, as I mentioned earlier tonight, I think I would change the divide between our executive board and our general committee. I think we could be bonded together more and have more involvement among everyone. So I think that's one thing I would like to change.
All right. I completely agree, and I think that just branching out and having other committees and organizations involved in SAC and just kind of taking it the next step.
I think that as an executive board, we do a really good job of taking everything that everyone from the administration side, from the student athlete side, wants us to talk about. And so then as we all sit down and we spend a lot of time speaking about it and really thinking about what's worthwhile for this general SAC group, I think we actually do a really good job of condensing it and then taking what's really necessary and bringing it to them, because at the end of the day, they're the student athletes and they're the ones that everything is affecting. So, I personally think that we touch on every little aspect that we need to.
I believe it's being effectively communicated. I think that, like she said, we take everything that's going on between our administration that they bring to us and also what's brought from student athletes, and I think we distribute it really well. I think one part we need to fix is how it's distributed from our general SAC into their teams, and making sure all student athletes are aware, not just the ones we have in our room.
I think before this year, as we turned around this organization, we had a very different setup in the past few years that I've been involved. And before this year, we decided to look at our Constitution that was already written and make it very clear on how people are going to be represented and who and when and how. I think we made it very concrete. So as this whole year went on, when decisions needed to be made or things needed to be voted on, we were very systematic about it. So I think everyone was equally represented.
Well, I think that the executive board does a really good job of communicating it, because we meet a week before the meeting and a week after the meeting. So we obviously communicate very well, but I think that the next phase is kind of just giving student athletes the opportunity to communicate as well. But that also goes back to communicating more effectively with the teammates, and then coming to the meetings prepared with those information, so we can actually have effective, efficient meetings in a timely fashion, because it's kind of tough taking out more than an hour to 2 hours max on Monday. It's hard.